So back when I was running my dropshipping store, there was one crucial mistake I was making that was costing me a ton of money, and I didn't even know it at the time. From fulfilling orders to running ads, every step of the process requires some form of payment method. A lot of the time, people use whatever credit card they have or even the dreaded debit card. I've now found 5 credit cards that I think are the best for anyone spending money within a drop shipping business. Starting with number 1, the Capital One Spark Miles business card. So the way I organize this video, we're going to start basic as possible. And with this card here, it's as basic as you're going to get. Now, Capital One is going to be generally an issuer that I wouldn't prioritize first, but I like mentioning them because they have also been known to get a lot more people in the door if you've ever had any issues on getting approved for a business card. Keep in mind, before we even mention anything else about them, Capital One is an issuer that does report your business credit over to your personal credit file. This here usually isn't ideal for anyone who is leveraging 0% promotional offers because it can definitely impact your score. But if you are someone who doesn't have any debt with their business and you are cash flowing pretty well and you just want to accrue even more points, I believe this card is a great starter card. Now, what makes this card a contender on my list is that you get 50,000 miles as a bonus once you spend $4,500 on purchases within the first 3 months of opening your account. Now, this credit card here has a much lower spend requirement than some of the other business credit cards we're going to talk about. So this is also great for anyone who's just getting started out within the space. Now, Capital One Miles, it might sound confusing because you hear miles, points, cashback, like all these different terminologies. Capital One Miles, just see them as regular credit card points and they're worth about 1 cent each. If you are able to find a high value transfer partner, I've seen people still redeeming Capital One Miles for anywhere from 1.5 to even 3 cents each. So conservatively, that's still going to be $500 to get cash back or even up to $1,500 from a good redemption. That's not all though. With this card, you can also get 5x miles on hotels and rental cars booked with the Capital One travel portal, and then 2x miles on all other purchases. Now, on top of that, you also get a $100 credit for global entry or TSA pre-check, which doesn't really hurt either. Now, using their calculator, let's say you have about $10,000 a month in expenses between ads, inventory, and just other miscellaneous stuff. So that right there is going to result in an additional 240,000 miles a year on top of that first year welcome bonus offer of 50,000 miles. If we do some math, that's going to add up to $2,900 in value that you get within your business without changing anything at all. So you could be moving at the steady pace, but then you get an additional $2,000 to $3,000 on your bottom line from using the right card. Now, as your business grows, so does your expenses, and this 2x you get back on this card is unlimited. So even if you're putting $100,000 in spend a month on your card, that 2x miles does not change. You should also know that this card has an annual fee of $95, but what I love about it is that they say for the first year, the annual fee is going to be waived, so you're good to go there. This comes from the exception that you are spending at least $5,000 a year, but I think most people are able to do that with any one of their businesses. As I mentioned, Capital One is going to be good for people who have no or low credit scores. So even if you have something like a 680, I think your chances of getting approved for this card is still rather high. And by the way, before you apply, be sure to check out the video I made going over everything you need to know about business cards to make sure you maximize your chances of getting approved. Now, our next card here is going to be pretty similar to the last one, but also very different at the same time. Now, this card is coming from one of my favorite issuers within the space, and an issuer that I put a majority of our own business spend on, and this is going to be the Amex Blue Business Plus card. Right away, you're probably wondering, well, what is the welcome bonus offer? Well, this card actually doesn't have one, but it does have something special. You can get 0% APR on purchases within the first 12 months of card ownership. But Brian, I thought I wasn't supposed to carry a balance. Let me tell you why this card might be different. Unlike Capital One, American Express does not report your business balance to your personal credit report. They will, however, pull your credit when you apply. So if you're still building your store and say you're trying to transition out of dropshipping into building a private label brand, which is more sustainable long-term, and you need a short-term loan for all 0% interest rate, this is one of those cards that could come in handy. Just make sure that you have the right roadmap in being able to pay off that card before the end of the 0% APR period. So as soon as you get this card, you have a credit limit of say $15,000. You have 1 year to use that $15,000 $10,000 with no repercussion at all. Now, on top of that, it's worth noting American Express tends to be much more liberal with their credit limits than Capital One. So if you are launching that new business and you're trying to get something more than like a $5,000 credit limit, usually Amex can go and give you a higher credit limit than you expect. And more than that, if you go ahead and request a credit limit of 3x more than what you have. So if you have a $5,000 starting credit limit, your miles may vary, but it's worked for me and it's worked for my fiance, where we've gone ahead and got a triple credit limit increase automatically, all for free throughout their website at the click of a button. So this card is simple. 2x points on everyday eligible business purchases, but you are capped out to $50,000 a year. This card has no annual fee, and I'd highly recommend that you have a score of at least 680 in order to get approved. The next card here on this list is going to be one of my favorites, a card that I still have, the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. Now, this card is a part of the Chase Inc. lineup of cards, which are great for basically any business, but the best one for drop shipping by far. This is because right off the gate, you're getting a huge welcome bonus offer, 100,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points after you spend $8,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. Those amount of points can be redeemed anywhere for $1,000 to even $2,000 or more based on your transfer partners, but you just have to keep in mind that it does have a higher welcome bonus requirement, so you need to be spending at least $2,700 a month in order to make sure that you get the welcome bonus offer. If you are spending more than $2,700 a month, you are good to go. You're going to get that welcome bonus offer after you hit it within that 3-month period, and you should be seeing a surplus of those points that you can apply to pretty much anything you want. Now, where this card shines is that you get 5x points on Lyft rides until March 2025. So you cruising on Lyft, at that drop shipping conference, whatever it is, you're going to be covered there. You also get 3x points on the first $150,000 in spending on shipping purchases, advertising purchases made with social media sites and search engines. And then you'll also be getting 3x back on internet, cable, and phone services and travel, and then 1x points back on everything else. Now, compared to the Capital One miles, the Chase points can be worth well over 2 cents each if you use it within those portals. If we pair that up with the 3x you get back on advertising, essentially you're getting back about 6% on your purchases. Now, this card here has a $95 annual fee, but right away in that first year, if you get that welcome bonus offer, you're still in massive high ROI. Let's say, as an example, you're spending $10,000 a month on your business at a 3x earning rates. That's still about 360,000 ultimate reward points. Combine that with the extra 100,000 welcome bonus offer you get, and that's anywhere from $4,600 in cash to even $9,200 on the higher end. And if you have any other drop shipping friends within the business, the Chase Inc. Business Preferred card right now allows you to earn an additional 200,000 ultimate reward points or $2,000 in cash back if you go ahead and refer any other friends that you have to this card. So that right there is a huge amount. You can get a ton of upside with this card, but there are a few things to note. With Chase, it's a bit harder to get approved for if you've never had any relationship with them. So go ahead and make sure you at least pick up like a Chase Freedom card or any one of the Chase personal products that they have. It could even be a Chase bank account. Now, I recommend that you have a score of at least 700 when applying, but keep in mind, Chase's algorithm is a little bit all over the place. I've seen some people with a 650 credit score still getting approved. Also, keep in mind that Chase does not report to your own personal credit report. If you want to learn more about the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, or if you're interested in signing up, be sure to check out the link down below in the description or scan that QR code here on your screen. These are affiliate links. They support my channel at no cost to you. Just make sure the credit card bonus offer that you're getting is the highest available. But generally with these business credit cards, they are the same across the space. So I'm 99.9% confident you guys are getting the best offer. And if you want to learn more, links for that is also down below. With that being said, moving on to the fourth credit card here on this list, we got the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card. So this card has an equally great welcome bonus offer sitting at $750 cash back after you spend $6,000 on purchases within 3 months. Now, that welcome bonus is still pretty good, especially when you pair it with what you actually get on this card, where you earn 5% back on Lyft rides until March 2025, 5% back on up to $25,000 combined in a year at office supply stores, on internet, cable, and phone services. And then you get 2% back on up to $25,000 a year on gas stations and restaurant purchases. Now, this year is really special because it allows you to get additional cash back on certain categories, even on top of the Ink Business Preferred. So Chase has made it a system where a lot of the different cards that you can get with them all complement each other. But most importantly, this card has $0 in annual fee, which means you could keep it, you could sign up for it, you can get the welcome bonus offer and never use it again, and it will not cost you a penny to hold. So to get approved for this card, I'd recommend you have a score of at least 685. By the way, if you guys are wondering if you need like a DMB score and all that, no, generally with a lot of these business credit cards, just make sure you have a good personal credit score and a good relationship with that bank or some account with them like we talked about before, you should be good to go. Fifth credit card here on this list is going to be the American Express Business Gold Card. And right off the bat, this card has a pretty good welcome bonus offer where you can earn 70,000 bonus points after spending $10,000 in the first 3 months. With this card, you can earn 4x points on up to $150,000 a year on your top 2 business categories. So this will apply to airfare, advertising, tech providers, gas stations, restaurants, and shipping. So generally, if you're drop shipping, you're going to want to turn on advertising and shipping. And then for that $150,000 you spend on ads and, you know, any USPS or any shipping, Shipmate, ShipBob, there's like Ship Joe, all this weird stuff going on these days, you'll be able to earn a decent amount back, 4x, which I think is really good. And American Express points, I still find very, very valuable. With this card, you also get Amex Hotel Collection, a bunch of insurance and protections, and even direct linking of your transactions into QuickBooks. So if you use QuickBooks to manage all of your accounts, this right here, I think is a no-brainer just because it's seamless in the way they operate and work. The one downside with this card is that it has an annual fee of $295, but just by spending $7,500 a year on this card in your selected categories, you still get positive ROI, not even including the welcome bonus offer. Recommended score, have at least a 680. If you have a 700, you should automatically get approved. Now keep in mind, if you have no relationship with Amex, they are going to ask for more additional information, but generally, rule of thumb, if this is like your second or third business credit card, they should be able to approve you on the spot. All right, now that we've covered our 5 top credit cards, I want to show you how all of these credit cards could actually work together. So let's first talk about the Capital One Spark Miles and the American Express Blue Business Plus cards, which were our first 2 cards that we mentioned. Now, these are going to be your starter credit cards. So if you have higher revenue already, I would say just go for the Capital One card because the earning rates have no spending cap. But if you are early on with your dropshipping business, go ahead and check out the American Express Blue Business Plus card first. This is because American Express is just so business friendly. They even have things like their own small business team and just all these little support tools that they offer. So I think American Express is really good for anyone who's just getting started within the space. Moving forward though, these 2 cards I mentioned are going to be what I consider to be called catch-all credit cards. So they catch any type of transactions and you still earn 2x on that. For your other 3 most common categories, you have ads, shipping, office supplies, and even maybe your internet and phone bill. So starting with ads, this is probably going to be the biggest area of where you spend your money on. The Business Gold Card will go ahead and be the main card for this because you're earning 4x back on it. Once you max that out, you can consider the Chase Ink Business Preferred Card where you'll be earning 3x back on that rate. After that, you want to use a Chase Ink Cash Card for internet, cable, and phone bills, as well as your office supply purchases, so you can earn an additional 5x back on that amount. Last but not least, if you're shipping any inventory on behalf of yourself, make sure you use the American Express Business Gold Card and set that as the category from one of the 2, and you would be set in earning 4x back on that amount as well. Now, these cards are definitely going to have a little bit of overlap, but as long as you're making sure you're earning as much as you can long term, you should be able to accrue a decent amount of points depending on where you are with your business. The bottom line is be aware of where your spending is going and make sure you're using the right card for it. If you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to check out the links down below in the description. Be sure to check out the groups that we have, the Credit Society Facebook group, and also our newly launched Discord. Thank you all so much again for watching this video. Have an amazing, blessed day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.